beyond excited, beyond ready to go. I just feel like I think personally I'm just ready to put into practice everything that we've worked on, we've been doing since June, and so I'm just ready to get this thing going. So.
Kind of related to what I said to her, only on a team thing. What do you consider to be the strong points of this team?
We're fast, extremely fast. I think we're probably, I'm just going to put it out there, we're probably the fastest team in our league. We've gone from being the slowest team in the league to personnel-wise being the fastest team in the league, and I feel really confident about that. I feel good about that. We're more dynamic in the open court. I think that we're a smart team, or we certainly have the capabilities of being an intelligent team, and so I think we have a chance to be pretty decent.
You brought in transfers from a few different spots. You had a Power 5 transfer, and you also had a couple transfers coming from some other mid-major schools. What were you looking for out of those additions? As
I mentioned before in previous interviews, we had to become more dynamic. We were extremely slow last year. We didn't have very much playmaking ability. So our number one targets, for the most part, we had to bring in, as we felt at the time, kids that can make more plays in the open court, meaning we needed more dynamic wings and to add to our personnel, and I feel like we did that. We targeted 5 kids. We got 3 of the 5 kids that we targeted, which is efficient, and I feel really great about what our staff has accomplished, and we just look different. We look totally different, and I feel confident when I say that. I feel really good about that.
Had some players last year that kind of got thrust into some pretty big roles that allowed them to get a lot of playing time kind of early on into their college careers. What have you seen in the development of some of those players?
I think every kid that played for us last year has gotten better, and I think that says a lot about what we're doing, what our staff is currently doing, and we look deeper. Because of that, we're deeper. We're certainly deeper.
Back to speed a little bit. How does that help you in transition and in just the overall pace of the game and the way you want to play?
Well, last year everything was extremely hard. Extremely hard. We literally had to coach everything. Give our kids credit last year. They competed. They did everything they could. We had an awesome group. But it was hard to score. If we scored 50 points, we felt like we had a chance to win. But the whole thing about scoring 50 points was, there weren't a lot of opportunities for us to score 50 points. I don't foresee that being an issue this year. We certainly can score a lot easier. And so I feel good as far as pace of play, as far as what we're going to be able to do on both sides of the floor.
Does this feel like year one for you, even though, yes, last year was your first year as a head coach?
When you say, does it feel like year one? No, last year definitely felt like year one. That was probably the biggest challenge of my life last year, because we were just trying to maximize what we had. And I felt like our staff did. I think we were playing our best basketball late last year. I think we just ran out of time. And I felt good about what we were able to do last year, but there were a lot of downs, not as many ups, but a lot of downs last year. And I felt like our staff learned a great deal. Myself especially, I learned a lot about myself and about my own personal development, which is huge. And I think it's going to continue that experience is going to springboard us into, what we're currently doing right now.
Talk about Amber and how she's developed in the offseason, and honorable mention all league last year, and how can you build around her with the newcomers?
I think when I look at our current situation with Amber's bigger, stronger than what she was last year. She has a tremendous motor, so she's in even better shape than what she was last year. We try not to put too much pressure on any particular person. We have more kids who can score now. Amber's someone that doesn't necessarily need the ball all the time, so it's not like we come down and we draw up a lot of plays for Amber. So she's able to maximize her abilities in other areas, offensive rebounding, transition, playing off of other people, which is she's a great complement to the guards that we currently have. We have more proven kids. You know, you talk about, you know, Maya, who's scored over 1,000 points in her career. You're talking about Ange, who has been a proven player, who was preseason and all conference, one of the best players in her league the year before. You know, Amber, I'm not gonna try to put a target on her back, but I felt like she was the best freshman in our league last year. I don't know what more she could have did, you know, with our situation, you know, and so I think she feels like she has a lot to prove. I think Inge feels like she has a lot to prove. I think Maya feels like she has a lot to prove. I think Camille, who didn't play much at Illinois, feels like she has a lot to prove. And I think those kids that are returning from last year, they get another shot at this, and they feel like they got a lot to prove. So there's a lot of people with a lot of chips on their shoulder, and I know we were preseason, I think 8th or something like that. Not trying to put a target on our back, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
What do you want to see out of the non-conference here as you head towards the MAC?
I just gave them a lecture just a second. We just want to get better every single day. Like, if we get better every single day, the sky is the absolute limit for this team. Because I know what our staff is capable of doing. If you saw last year what we looked like early, you saw what we look like late. This team already is a lot further ahead than what we were last year. So I know that if cards fall the right way, or if things go the right way for us in terms of just focusing on getting better every day, there's a lot of good stuff that's out there for us.